Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Game Brigade. I'm your host Brian, and on this show we do reviews, previews, and playthroughs of your favorite games. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Today guys, we have a lot of stuff we're going to be covering. For the show, we're going to be covering 7th Citadel, the new Kickstarter that launched today. I've been super excited and waiting for this one for a while, so I can't wait to cover it. We do have a little bit of a channel update news for you guys. We have a giveaway to do today for the digital copy of Wingspan. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stay in tuned for the end of the show when we cover that. We still have the Oathsworn giveaway as we reach closer to that 3,000 subscriber mark. So if you're also interested in the subscriber or in terms of the Oathsworn giveaway for the Kickstarter edition, make sure you tune in to the end of the show and we'll cover that. So let's go ahead and swing on over to 7th Citadel. Okay, so here we are on 7th Citadel. We are currently day 1, so 22 days left to go in the campaign. We're at 13,995 backers, so nearly 14,000, and we've already eclipsed the 1 million mark. So if you're new to 7th Citadel, you don't know much about the 7th Continent gameplay style, we're here to talk about that, talk about what the game works. In terms of gameplay time, the game takes 5 to 1,000 minutes to complete, and it's a 1 to 4 player experience. So something new that we've been doing lately is to watch the intro video. So we're going to take a second and watch that. If you want to skip ahead, it's about 3 minutes ahead. I'll have a timestamp in here for when that ends. But let's take a look here at the video.
For 7 decades, the Kell Protectorate has been fighting against the Burrowers, an adversary as formidable as it is elusive, controlled by a mysterious individual. These massive worms tirelessly dig underground galleries, transforming a once prosperous kingdom into a desolate territory now known as the Collapsing Lands. As a slave gardener, you have been working for years in the 7th Citadel, growing and maintaining monstrous plant abominations designed by your masters, the Necro-Druids, to defeat the Burrowers.
The Necro-Druids.
You toil there, hoping that death by accident or from exhaustion will come to relieve you of your daily burden. But the course of history is about to change, and with it, a glimmer of hope is reborn.
I like how they did the lines there. Kind of like
it is time to reclaim control of your destiny. The 7th Citadel is a brand new exploration and adventure game from the creators of the 7th Continent. In this original post-apocalyptic medieval fantasy world, you will explore the collapsing lands over a series of scenarios lasting many hours. As you play, you will learn more about the world and become stronger, but a powerful threat will always loom over you. Will you be strong enough to face it when it comes down upon you and the community you lead? On your own or in a group of up to 4 players, you start by choosing your character and their first skills. You can create
so this is a lot of new stuff compared to 7th Citadel.
An eloquent adventuress who can sneak in the shadows, or an elderly swordsman who summons creatures to assist him. You choose who you want to be. Take the booklet for the threat you've chosen to face, put the first terrain card in play, and you're ready to dive into adventure. Explore the vast territory of the Collapsing Lands by playing numbered cards that unveil the board as you go. Carefully observe your environment for hidden numbers and learn how to take advantage of cryptic visual elements on terrain and event cards.
I was just about to talk about
To achieve your goals, you'll have to resolve hundreds of different events and talk to many non-player characters using the Book of Dialogues, dodging, intimidating, casting spells. Use your personal action deck to perform more than 30 different actions that the game offers. The more cards you draw, the more likely you are to succeed. But the sooner you'll be exhausted and forced to return to the Citadel. Thanks to your bravery and feats of arms, you'll gain hope and turn it into powerful bonuses on the Destiny page. Acquire advanced and reflex skills to enrich your action deck.
This is really interesting.
Build buildings with powerful effects.
Building buildings.
Or update the world map to discover points of interest, such as new adventure starting locations to reach your destination faster. There are so many options. Which path will you choose?
That's a good question.
This collector's edition has been designed specifically for Kickstarter.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. We don't need to go over that because we're about to cover it all. So that's the video here for 7th Citadel. Let's take this off. I don't need my headset on anymore. So there's a few things here. So if you are new to the 7th Citadel, 7th Continent world, this video should be helpful for you to kind of talk about the major differences for this one. Or if you're thinking about maybe purchasing the 7th Continent instead, we can kind of talk about that as well. So first off, in terms of universe, in terms of world, 7th Citadel is an entirely new space. So it does not share the same characters or world that you would experience in 7th Continent. And the major thing that I found through my research of this game is that 7th Continent was very much a survival-based game where you were sleeping out in the stars, you had to forage for food, make sure you had shelter. It was all about surviving the island while trying to figure out how to lift the curse. While 7th Citadel, they have now changed it a little bit more to now be more of an exploration adventure game. Still has threats, still has penalties, but it's not going to focus so much more on the survival aspect, which to me, I like more. One of the reasons I have 7th Citadel, I haven't played it yet. It's actually, I don't know if you guys can see it. You can't, I've moved it. It's next to this light here that I have back there. Is kind of like my feature wall of games that are like I want to play next. And 7th Citadel's been there, and or 7th Continent's been there, and it's been a game that I've really wanted to move forward and play. The only reason we haven't is actually the difficulty level of starting a game and getting a progression so far and losing and having to restart. I've read things about doing house rules in terms of, if you fail, you go back a few turns and you figure out how to go from there. Not necessarily sure if I agree with that or like that idea, but I also don't like the idea of putting, say, 20 hours into a game and then getting punished where you have to start over completely. I know I don't like repeating content that much, so it's hard to say what's right. So I do like that 7th Citadel has taken this game design and said, okay, let's make it less punishing. Let's let players explore more, because there's a lot of content here to explore. You got about 1,000 minutes of playtime. So I think there's definitely a lot there. So I really, really appreciate that. In terms of the gameplay, the way the game works is you'll be revealing these tiles, and there'll be directions here for you to go to. So you can choose to go to way, and it's going to tell you what card to put here, which you could reveal. It might have territories, it might have monsters that you're going to have to face and defeat. Might have obstacles or things you need to complete. And what I really like is the fact that these tiles, while you have these icons here that tell you where you can go and what card you'll be revealing as you go, they have hidden elements that you can also spot. So like on this one, they showed in the video, this little bird here, or maybe this little ring thing. I'm not sure what they are, but by looking at the map and looking for any other secrets, you might actually uncover something that could help you in your progression. So I really, really appreciate that. So let's talk about the pledge level, because there's only one for at least right now. They do have some add-ons, but currently they only have one pledge level. Okay, so in terms of value, in terms of pledge levels, we have a collector's edition, which is at 69 euros, comes into about $81 US. It includes this Kickstarter exclusive collector's edition box. They're also going to be giving an expansion, the Edge of Peril expansion, plus any stretch goals that are unlocked, for the cost of $81. I'll tell you right now, the Kickstarter edition of 7th Citadel or 7th Continent has always drawn a fairly hefty price for the all-in package, especially when you're including like the expansions, like what comes up must come down. I believe that's the title of that one. And you could get up to about $300 on some of these expansions in terms of aftermarket pricing. So the Kickstarter value of 7th Continent, 7th Citadel usually does perform better after the pledge is completed than it does if you were to back it now. They are also stating in the FAQ of this video that a pledge level backing, so if you back, say, $1 to enter to the pledge manager, your prices will not be the same here as they are then. So they're going to be more expensive in the future. If you just back in for the $1 to get into the pledge manager, you could expect to pay more later. So they're really trying to push you now to kind of get that FOMO out of you to back it earlier than say later. Now, let's say though, if you wait till retail, this game will be coming to retail. We can look currently at their website, Serious Poulp's website, and see that the 7th Continent retail classic with no expansions comes in at about $50 to $60. So, and that's not that they actually have free shipping with products over $50. So that's something to consider. When you're looking at this one, it's going to be $80, but you're going to have to pay shipping. So you're going to have to evaluate how much are these stretch goals plus any expansions worth it to you. This free expansion, from as much as I can tell from reading it, only seems to add in more difficult scenario situations, like as if the land, because there's worms underneath the land eating up the land, it appears to me from what I've seen that there could be pitfalls or something dangerous that'll happen because the territories are getting eroded away, just to make it a little bit more difficult. So as of right now, because we only have a few stretch goals unlocked, in fact, I can probably show you those stretch goals right now. So now that we're at the stretch goals, they actually start down here, starting at the 400,000. They added some more additional cards, some more exploration cards, some free Citadel leaflets, which I actually kind of like these. Some more weapons, which is nice. Of course, you don't get to see all of them, but the one. And we have additional rewards as the campaign progresses. So in terms of the cost, we're going to be looking about $100 for this for the collector's edition 7th Citadel. I think in terms of overall cost, it's a bit high because you're buying a game that is mostly just cardboard, but the game drives a good enough desire from other people from the secondary market that it maintains or exceeds that value. Now, if you're a person who can live without the miniatures, can live without the stretch goals, and can live without some of the free expansions, you're most likely to be able to pick this up for about $60 with free shipping. So there is this, balancing act there. Personally, I own the classic edition of 7th Continent. I don't mind the standees. I think they're fine, but I wouldn't mind having the collector's edition. That for sure, I wouldn't mind having it. I just don't know if necessarily there's a ton of value here because the shipping is where you're going to get eaten alive. They do have some additional add-ons here as well. They have some premium sleeve cards. The sleeves in this game are not standard like playing card sleeves. They're kind of more squarish. So they have some custom sleeves for that. And for $70, you can get every sleeve that you might need for the game, as well as a box for any additional content because the sleeves are going to thicken the game up. So you're going to need more boxes to place those cards. So the box is actually included for free because you're buying the sleeves in this pledge manager. I have seen people asking if I can just purchase the box, but you're not. This is a gift. You're purchasing this, and this is a free gift for that. So I generally, in my Kickstarter reviews, say never buy sleeves because you're paying a premium for them. You can generally get about 100 sleeves though for about $4 to $5. So this cost is really not that high. It really depends on how much your shipping is going to be increased by adding these pledge manager sleeves to them. So that's something to be aware of. So from what I've seen, is this game interesting? Would I back this game? I think there's a lot of things great about this game. For me personally, I love the mechanic here of revealing cards as you lay out the map and you play and you start progressing through the territories. I love that. In fact, there's a few other games that I've purchased that kind of share this idea and kind of borrowed it from 7th Continent. And I'm excited for those games as well because I really, really appreciate a good exploration, a good story-based game. And I think this one has it. And I think they took a lot of their mistakes that they made in 7th Continent and said, okay, how can we take our game and increase it to make it more, give players more agency, give them the ability to develop their character, to make the story more their own, and to give it a sense that everyone kind of can build their own game themselves. And I really think I see that here when I'm looking at it. especially when you can take your character, you can select specific things that you're good at, which will give you specific traits. Then you can go into building different types of buildings. You really get a lot of agency. Here's an example, by the way, of that zooming in to see, like there's a mushroom here, which is this. So if you see that mushroom, you can pull this card out and be like, oh, I can actually use this now. The other aspect of this game that I really like is the dialogue system. It very much reminds me of a classic like BioWare RPG, which I love to play those games, where you can have some different dialogue options to say, and based on how you decide to take it, you have to read a specific dialogue box, which could be positive or neutral based on how things play out. I really, really like that. Then there's a combat system involved because of the creatures. I'm not going to cover all that because you can read the rule book if you want to cover the combat, but you're going to be going through combat, dialogue, perils, feats, checks to make sure that you can complete your goals. And the final thing that I really liked, that I wanted to talk about here, was this map that they included. So when you get the game, you're going to get a map of the world that you have, the world known to you, but the map may not be accurate. So you're looking at it like, well, let's try to get to this this base that was here at one point, this military compound or something. And so as you progress down that way, it might no longer be there. It could be shifted because of the way they've developed the universe to have the worms eating away at the land and shifting things around. I like that. So what this is representing here, as you discover actually how the territory looks, you can now slip in new map pieces to start filling out the map the way it truly should look. I think that's really unique. I think that's really, really cool. And I really, really like this idea. So overall, I am very, very excited for 7th Continent or 7th Citadel. I'm definitely looking forward to backing this one and getting my copy. I personally think there's a value enough here for me to get the collector's edition. I don't think I'd be losing any money or risking it. The biggest downfall for this campaign is that it has a May 2022 release date. It's really far out. That's because they still have some proofreading they need to do. They still have some playtesting that they're doing. So they're still expecting about 12 months worth of work left to put into this game before they can get it ready for development. So that is my quick synopsis for 7th Citadel. So let's switch on back to me and we will wrap up this video. Okay, so if you are new to the channel and you are here to hear about the giveaway, we currently have a giveaway for the Oathsworn Kickstarter edition, which is a $99 pledge level. So if you're interested in that, I will have a video up here that you can click on for more information on that. For the comment of the day for that giveaway, if you're still here for that, why don't you leave something down below with Citadel somewhere in your comment, and let me know what you guys think of this campaign in that comment. I'd really appreciate it. For the Wingspan giveaway, we're going to have it be a little bit different for that one. I'm going to be releasing the game on Friday on my Instagram story. So to enter that giveaway, you're going to have to go to the 7th Citadel post on my Instagram page, leave a comment there, as well as tag a friend that you think might be interested in this campaign. If you have liked my page, left that comment, at the end of Friday, I will then pick one of those people to give a game away to. So make sure you check your DMs because I'll be messaging you with your direct message with the game key. I appreciate everyone who stayed till the end and watched the show. If you really want to support the show, make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button. I really appreciate it for the YouTube algorithm. We have a lot more videos to come this week because there's a lot of Kickstarters and games that I want to cover. So we will be churning them out. So talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.